Welcome to the ring, Stephen Clarke. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the middleweight division. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Darren Sargensen. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing yellow with white and blue and weighed in officially at 163.6 pounds. Coming to us from Leeds, West Yorkshire, England, he is a veteran of 40 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joe Hardy. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing gray with green and weighed in officially at 161 pounds. Hailing from Liverpool, England, he is undefeated with 6 wins. 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Stephen Clarke.
Fellas, both know the rules. Keep it clean. Nothing low. Watch your head. When I say break, take a step back. Most importantly, defend yourself at all times. Best of luck.
Well, welcome back. It's action after the action. What a cracker of a main event that was between Mark Chamberlain and Jack Rafferty. A proper fight of the year contender. But here we go, another bout on this wonderful evening of boxing in Altrincham at Planet Ice. And we have Steve Clarke boxing in those grey and green shorts, and Joe Hardy from Leeds in the Leeds colours of yellow and blue. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and Ryan Garner. Ryan, welcome back to ringside. Enjoyed your evening?
Yes, mate. It's been a very, very good evening. Like you just said just a minute ago, the last fight of the year contender. Very, very good fight. Mark impressed me a lot, to be fair. Obviously, like you say, that's his first championship fight at light welter against the Demolition Man, and he put on a very, very good performance. And I can only say a draw was fair, if I'm honest, mate. It was a very, very hard fight to score. Like I speak, Rafferty started off well early, and then Mark come in towards the end with his sticking, boxing and moving.
It was all action for 12 rounds, and I think you're right. I think a draw is a fair shout for that one. But let's see how these two get on. Steve Clarke off to a high-tempoed, aggressive start, just chucking that lead hook under the right elbow. Very, very of good. Joe Hardy.
He's digging them body shots in very well, as you see around the sides of Joe Hardy. He's starting to redden up now, and I think he's starting to feel some of these body shots now.
Let me tell you, Joe Hardy is one of the toughest away corner fighters on the circuit. That man has been hit with a kitchen sink and everything else, and he still stands there and smiles at his opponents. We spoke about this earlier on, didn't we, with some of these fighters? They're just otherworldly.
That's it, mate. Sometimes you get the odd one that they bowl over very easy. They're just here to get in and out. But then the odd occasion, well, quite a lot of the occasion, you get the real tough cookies, the ones that are very hard to crack. And yeah, Joe Hardy's one of them people. But Steve Clarke, yeah, he's looking very strong, very sharp at the moment. He's starting off well. Looking to dig him in. He's trying to impose his power early.
And a good tempo to this round so far. And he's throwing that lead hook to the body nicely, is Clarke.
Yeah, that lead left hook to the body, he's sinking it in very well. As I said earlier, Joe Hardy's starting to redden up there. So obviously he's getting through quite a bit there.
Hardy soaks up the shots well, just shakes his head there.
Yeah, he's shaking his head. He's one of them ones, we talked about this earlier, I think, you know, they shake their head to just tell them that they're not hurt. Sometimes people just do it to try and, even though they are hurt, do you know what I mean, trying to show that they're not. Little tricks.
Well, some of these shots which we're hearing from ringside landed from Steve Clarke, they are landing with a thud and a crack. So we know that they're most certainly getting through.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Just think Steve Clarke just needs to not smother his workings. He's getting a bit too close sometimes. Just get himself in there slowly and then take him in, do you know what I mean?
But he's no stranger to the big nights and the big cards and being on these TV shows and the bright lights on him. He's boxed all over the place in his very short career so far. So I doubt he'll be feeling any nerves from that sense. But he's got a good corner in there. The Smith brothers looking after him. What do you think they'll be saying to him after the first round?
Like I was
More
saying,
the same.
Yeah, but like I was saying, just not smother his work as much. Like he started off very good, very explosive, very powerful, but towards the end he was looking for it a bit too much, if you know what I mean. He was digging a bit early and he was landing, but because he was getting a bit, how do I say it, a bit too gun-ho, throwing the same shots, so instead of mixing it up, and Joe Hardy starting to read it a bit, do you know what I mean? Just find it a bit more difficult to get through now. So I think he just needs to mix his back, come in behind the jab, not looking for it too much.
Joe Hardy has been in that ring so many times. He's one of the busiest away corner fighters, and he is good at reading his opponents, and he also comes to have a go as well. Like he'll bite down on his gum shield, he'll stick his chin into his chest, and he'll let those hands go. So Clarke has got to be careful of those shots because they come from all angles.
Yeah, as we've seen a couple of times there at the start of the round, Joe Hardy, he was letting his hands go, and he caught Stephen Clarke a few times at the start of the round there. But now Steve Hardy's just starting to go through the gears, and he's landed a triple hook there. It was lovely. Just think he needs to be a bit careful what's coming back sometimes, you know what I mean? Like you say, he landed a triple left hook to the head then, but he stayed there for too long instead of, and he got hit with a couple himself. So he needs to be careful what's coming back. He needs to start getting behind the jab, I think, a bit more as well, do you know what I mean? He's got a bit the height and the reach, so he needs to work behind the jab and everything will come off that.
Do you think Hardy's trying to invite Clarke in by kind of standing there in his face of his kind of high guard? Is that a bit of an invitation, like, come on have a go, and then he tries to counter him after?
Yeah, we were saying it earlier, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you have got to invite your opponents on, because then they start growing in confidence, they let the rounds go, and that's when you start catching him, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think he's comfortable anyway. Joe Hardy's, like you say, he's been around the block, he's been here with some good fighters, and it's nothing new to him being in there with fighters with heavy hands, fast hands, and he lets them alone. Look, that was a big right hand, hello.
He's certainly getting through with him, and Steve Clarke coming back. That was a nice double jab and followed it up with that straight right hand of his. Textbook stuff it was.
Yeah, it's a good learning fight for Steve Clarke. Joe Hardy's not one of the people like we talked about earlier, people rolling over, you get this journey with a roll over. But he's there to give him the round, and look, he's firing back, and he's trying to take his head off. And that's what you need as you start stepping up the ranks and going up the rounds. You want fighters that are going to give you rounds and give you trouble, you know what I mean? Make you think when you're in there. You don't want a demolition job, a knockout job, that they're over in 1 or 2 rounds. You want these learning rounds as you progress through your career.
I'll tell you what, he's giving Steve Clarke a little bit to think about there, both physically and mentally, because I don't know how many times he's been picked up on the camera, but he keeps sticking his tongue out at Clarke and just trying to wind him up a little bit and maybe just drag him into and play with his emotions. But doing well is Clarke, just bouncing around, holding the centre of that ring the majority of the time, throws most stuff well off of that jab.
Yeah, he's pop shot every now and again, that Joe Hardy, and he's just letting Steve Clarke know that he is there. Do you know what I mean? He's not just letting it all one-way traffic. He's just letting him know he's there. That's what you need as a prospect, Logan Fair. You need these fighters who are going to give you rounds, but also make you think. Do you know what I mean? Not just stand there, tuck up all night. You want someone who's going to fire back and make you think what's coming back.
You know, I was speaking to Royston Barney Smith about this exactly, for a guy called Cesar Paredes from Peru. It was on one of the big Manchester shows, maybe it was one of the Derek Chisora main events, I can't quite remember. But I watched him, I commentated on his fight, he did 8 rounds or 10 rounds, I can't quite remember that either, but what I do remember is Royston looked so bored.
Yeah.
There was nothing really coming back from Paredes. It just kind of didn't give him anything to think about. He just went through the motions for the whole 10 rounds. And I said to him when I interviewed him afterwards, I said, you look so bored in there tonight. And he said, oh, I'm so fed up of these types of opponents.
It is. Listen, I've been there, I've done it. It's very, very frustrating having fighters doing that. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. You don't want it, but you also need it at the same time when you're learning. Do you know what I mean? A good fighter, I believe, when they're fighting kind of opponents, you've got to then show how good you are. You've got to make the openings. You've got to trigger them to throw the hand, changing the angles, just create the openings yourself. But listen, it ain't fun when you got someone who's going to stand there, tuck up all night. It's hard work, isn't it? So as you go through the levels, it's better when people start to show your true self. Because you start fighting better people, they open up. That's when you catch them, but that's when you potentially get the knockouts.
Exactly, and you know, Joe Hardy is kind of the absolute opposite of that, because you know he comes to fight and he's giving Steve Clarke so much to think about. It's the other end of the spectrum with this.
Yes, I think Steve Clarke's looking
good shot there. Nice right hook over the top. Set it up with a jab, didn't he?
He's come out this round with a bit of fire, a bit of venom. He's whipping him in, he's digging him in. He mixed it from body to head very well this round. I think obviously Steve Smith gave him a few instructions in the corner there between the rounds, and he's taking note of it, and he's putting it into practice. That's good head movement there, and he come up with another left hook. He's got to not be greedy sometimes there. That's it, and move his feet out of the way. He's done some good, lovely work, mix it up from the body of the head, and he needs to not stay there. Move his head after or do something else, you know what I mean? That's it, look, bring his feet out of range, lovely. Yeah, he's mixing it lovely now, body to head, moving that head after, fidgeting, this is lovely stuff.
One of the things you spoke about earlier, Ryan, was about angles. We were watching Jack Power, and Steve Clarke is doing some great stuff in terms of angles, isn't he? Like the way that he's changing the angles where the shots are coming from, the way that he's changing his feet. He's doing loads of that. He's doing it brilliantly.
Yeah, mate, this round he's come out, don't know if Steve Smith might have given some instructions in the corner between that round, but he's come out this round. There's venom in his punches, he's mixing it body to head, he's rolling his head, instead of standing upright after his work, he's rolling the head out after, changing the angles, and yeah, he's doing very, very well this round. That's what these fights are about. When you get somebody who's as tough as Joe Hardy, these are the rounds you need to work on it, stuff like he's doing here, these rounds. Mixing it up, body to head. This is a great learning fight.
Joe Hardy just complaining to referee Darren Sargison there. Thinks that Steve Clarke keeps coming in with his head. Wasn't happy about it at all.
Yeah, he was shouting about the head there, Joe Hardy was, but if I'm honest there, I thought he was the one that came in low with his head then, and he moaned about the head, so yeah, not sure what the plan is there. Lovely uppercut that. He brought it
really well timed, that uppercut from Clarke.
He started off with a nice double jab, and he just stepped back that little 1 inch and brought the uppercut. It was lovely, that was. Nice, lovely.
Good, nice round. Picking up on something which you said earlier on about listening.
Yeah.
And it made me think, because you were saying about Stephen Smith in the corner there, saying stuff and putting it into action. I remember speaking to Dave Coldwell about this, and he, Dave's a top coach, and he was stressing the importance of the fighters who are extremely special, who do go all the way to the top, are the ones who have the ability to listen, genuinely listen, and then put it into action, because that's a skill in itself, isn't it?
Oh, of course it is, mate. Like you say, you got a trainer, like you said, someone like Dave Cole has got a great stable. But you got a good trainer. They ain't a good trainer for nothing, are they? Do you know what I mean? They give you instructions, and a good fighter should be able to follow them. You can't expect to go in there as a fighter and just think you know everything. Do you know what I mean? You got a trainer for a reason. They're supposed to help you learn, help you pick up. They see things outside the ring that you might not see when you're in there. So you got to take their instructions on board. And you got to be able to. A good fighter will be able to listen to their trainer and get them instructions off to a T. And that's what separates the great fighters to an average fighter.
Well said, that man. We're into round 4. This one scheduled for 6. Good work upstairs then. Just chipped that little left hook into the body, did Clarke. Oh, nice overhand right there from Hardy.
Nearly that clean that. He's looking a bit more tired now, Joe Hardy, as the round's getting on. I think their body shots earlier on for Stephen Clarke they're starting to take a little bit of a toll on him. He started playing a bit of mind games in there. That Joe Hardy talking to Stephen Clarke in there, but he seems strictly all business here, Stephen Clarke. That lovely body shot. It's a little tap to the head, and then the left hook whip. Do you know what I mean? Brings the hands up to the end, and he whip it into the body. It's lovely work.
And then he changes his feet, doesn't he? So he changes the angle straight after that.
Nice, lovely work there. It's
good work.
Big variety there. He's got work when he's on the inside there. This is lovely work this round for Stephen Clarke. Nice jab. He's got maybe not stay there too long after he's done a bit of lovely work there, Steve Clarke. Maybe stand there not too long and then get out of range and go again. Two phases of attack, but it's lovely work so far. Nice.
Definitely getting caught more now is Joe Hardy, and I think that's just where he's tiring and that fatigue is setting in, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, mate.
His feet are holding for a lot longer.
That's it, mate. A bit of an air punch there, but like we were saying earlier, first 2-3 rounds, Steve Clarke was digging him into the body early. Do you know what I mean? As you go to the 5th or 6th round, it's took control from early on, and Joe Hardy started to slow up now. And this is where Steve Clarke should come into his own. He's got more of a tee off, do you know what I mean? More time, because he's slowed right down there, Joe Hardy. So Steve Clarke should have more time. Just take his time and pick the big shots.
It goes back to one of the commentaries we were doing earlier on, Ryan, when we were talking about, I can't remember which, I think it was Jack Power's fight.
Yeah.
And you and Nathaniel Collins both said the way that you get these away corner fighters out of there, the journeyman, is about that tempo, that pace, and that consistency and the work rate, isn't it? Just non-stop chipping away at them.
That's it, mate. See these top level journeymen, they are. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, mate, and you won't move them. Do you know what I mean? The only way that you're going to get people out of there, how I found, is keep going through the gears just to tire them out. And through sheer exhaustion, then eventually you start getting it. That's what I think you get to these top journeymen that are tough as old boots. The way to get them out of there is through sheer exhaustion, and they ain't got nothing left, so they got to quit. Do you know what I mean?
And do you think Clarke's getting there with that, because he's been pretty consistent with his tempo, hasn't he? Like, there hasn't been a moment in the fight where he's kind of slowed down or had a bit of a round off.
Nah, not at all, mate. Like I said, the earlier rounds when he was sinking them into the body, I think they're slowly starting to creep up with him now. I think they've got 2 rounds left on me, so a good, like you say, 6 rounds is hard. He looks more like a 12-round fighter, Steve Clarke. Do you know what I mean? Because 6 rounds, you can survive 6 rounds. When you start going through the level, you start doing the 10-round fights and the 12-round fights. His body shots that started earlier, that's when they start getting to opponents. You know what I mean?
A bit like one half of tonight's main event, Jack Rafferty. He's been notorious for being somebody who kind of just grinds him down and eventually gets to him. But he didn't tonight.
Nah, he did it tonight, mate. I think the only problem with Jack tonight was, for me, he was just throwing through too many single shots and finishing on the body, and he was leaving himself exposed. You know, he's finished on the body instead of coming through the body and then up to the head. And he was leaving himself exposed as he was going to the body. Then Mark would counter it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it was definitely good enough to see again.
It was an exciting fight. It was a bloodfest. Mark's face after he had a few cuts to the, but it was a good fight. Very, very good fight.
And headlining, not far from where you live, is every fighter's dream. And I'm sure that'll be a dream of Steve Clarke as well. And this is just another step on his professional journey. And he started this round in exactly the same way that he started the 4 previous, on the front foot, pushing forward, high tempo, good foundations, and just chipping away. But he's got a tough man in front of him who is still firing back 5 rounds on.
Yeah, Clarke's still looking very, very sharp. As you know, I mean, it's round 5. He's still got the same venom and sting in his punches as he did in the first and second round. So that goes to show, like as I was saying earlier, as he starts moving into title contention, he starts doing the 10 rounders and 12 rounders and so forth. Yeah, I think that will play more into his part. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a very, very fit fighter, very strong, good variety. And I think as he starts going into longer round fights, he'll start coming into his own. But he's looking very, very good here. But as you say, Joe Hardy is a very, very tough man. Do you know what I mean? He's took a lot tonight from Stephen Clarke, and he's still there, and he's still throwing punches back. Nice variety, mix it up to the stabbing downstairs, they're coming upstairs, nice.
Well, this is the first time in a fight so far that Clarke has ever so slightly dropped the tempo. He has been fighting at a pretty high tempo throughout.
Yeah, it's been a very high tempo, like I say, from the start. Clarke tried jumping straight onto Joe Hardy straight from the off, and yeah, he's slowing a little bit, but he's still got the same kind of sharp. He's still looking sharp, he's still looking fast, and he's mixing the body and head up very well. I'm very impressed tonight.
He does do that very well in terms of his accuracy and the way that and where he throws his shots. He's good at going head, body, head, and then I guess reading an opponent like him is quite tough because you never quite know. Like, there's not many patterns there, is there? Which is a good sign.
Yeah, of course. Like I say, you don't want to be very predictable. Do you know what I mean? This is the best thing to be unpredictable. He's for a lovely combination. Just feel like he needs to get behind the jab a bit more now. He started off with a jab in the first couple of rounds. Clarke did lovely. A nice stiff, crisp jab. He's starting to not use it as much now as we go into later part of the fight. I think nice stab jab goes a long way.
He does it well. Well, if you've been with us throughout the evening and watched the main broadcast on DAZN earlier on, you were spoiled this evening because Zach Miller had an absolute cracker with Leon Woodstock, didn't he? And then Jack Rafferty at the end with Chamberlain. Jack Turner was just found it from somewhere. It's been a proper, genuine, brilliant night of boxing, isn't it?
Yeah, like you said, Zach Miller, Jack Rafferty, the two local lads with top fights, very exciting fights. I'm sure the fans got their money's worth. As you said about what's his name,
Jack Turner.
Jack Turner, what a fight! I tell you, that little Argentinian that he was fighting, some fighter, mate. If I'm honest, he's got dynamite in his hands, and Jack Turner. And to be honest, what I was watching, he looked like he was coming unstuck. That little Argentinian, he was very fit in your face. He was catching Jack a lot, but Jack's got that get out of jail card, and he used it tonight. And yeah, he got another stoppage victory.
Yeah, he's going to be an exciting one to watch. Is Jack Turner?
Yeah, listen, I was saying earlier, them smaller weights, you don't normally get fighters with dynamite in their hands like that. The top fighters in that weight class have it. So who knows what Jack's going to produce in the future.
Yeah, it's all about those eye-catching shots, and if you can finish people. And talking of eye-catching shots, that was a decent straight right hand which snuck through the guard of Joe Hardy from Steve Clarke. As we just go into the last couple of minutes of this bout.
Oh,
good shots again.
That was good. That
nice.
was good right hand over the top there from Stephen Clarke. And I think he hurt Joe Hardy there for a second. He's looking good, look, switching up the angles there. I've been very impressed with Steve Clarke tonight. He's looking very good. Do you know what I mean? Good variety, good work rate, sharp, fit. Yeah, he's got all the tools by the looks of it. It looks like Joe Hardy's starting to feel it a little bit now. Do you know what I mean? He's pouring out a few shots. He's had a hard night's work tonight. If I'm honest with you, Steve Clarke's really put it through the trenches.
Oh, he's most certainly earned his money, hasn't he?
Definitely, mate, definitely. Like we were saying earlier, you get some very tough journeymen, mate, and he is one of them. Nice, that's a quality combination. Speed's there, the venom's still there.
I feel like he's bowling a cricket ball there.
Coming at him at 100 miles per hour, that one, wasn't it?
I like the way that Hardy kind of just sort of laughed and smiled to Clarke afterwards, just to say, yeah, it was worth a go.
Yeah, lovely look. That was lovely like a roll out after Joe was talking about earlier about after you finish your shots, some form of defence, and that was perfect. Little roll out of any threat there. That's lovely. The last 30 seconds here. It's been a good little 6 rounds. Been very impressed with Stephen Clarke today.
Yeah, he's done plenty well, that's for sure. Good shot selection, good tempo, good work rate.
Everything, mate.
as we go into the last 10 seconds of our penultimate bout of the evening.
Still got a few fans around as well, even though the main event's finished. He's brought a little crowd here, Stephen Clarke.
And that's great to see, because sometimes when you're on the action after the action, as I like to call it, a lot of people are gone, but looking around, there's still a good number of people in it.
Yeah, it's a shame sometimes, like you say, to be fighting after the bell, after the main event. It can be a bit demoralising for some fights. I mean, whereas young Stephen Clarke, you want to be on these shows, you want to be able to soak up the atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? Early on before the main event, you want to get used to, because obviously he wants to be a headliner one day himself.
Yeah, of course.
And he wants to be able to experience the atmosphere, the crowd being there. So it's a bit of a shame it being after the bell, but sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and get on with it. It's all good learning, all good experience for him.
Well, Darren Sargentson has both fighters at the ready. Thomas Schreiber has the scores. We'll head over to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of scores the contest 60-54 for your winner. And still undefeated, Stephen Clarke.
Well, we knew that was going to Stephen Clarke, and well deserved too. Well, incoming is the exceptionally talented, the super fast and unbelievably determined Owen Lavin, as he makes his way to the ring here in Altrincham and ready to get straight down to business.
I must say that was a quick...
Okay, boys, both know the rules. I want you to obey my commands, tell it to break through, protect yourself at all times, boys. Just good. Good luck, boys.
Right on the job, Owen. Back up. Hands high on that jab.
Well, here we go. 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Owen Lavin in the black shorts with the red trim, and Dmitry Atrahov from Belarus in the black and white shorts. Lavin trained by Anthony Kroller, who can't be here this evening due to some flight logistics which didn't work in his favour, which I know he's gutted about. But Lavin is a young lad, a young fighter who takes this game very seriously, has high intentions of going all the way to the top, and what we've seen of him so far, there's no reason why he can't, because he means business and he does it too.
Yeah, he looks very, very patient so far, and he's mixing up, he's dipping the knees, he's changing the angles, he's looking like he's just throwing a couple of combinations, but he's looking very, very good fire. You can always tell, can't you, straight away, just from the demeanour, how they conduct themselves as soon as they get in the ring, the movement, just very calm, relaxed. You tell straight away that they're a good fighter.
Yes, normally just how relaxed they are, isn't it? It's that body language, just like we saw with Stephen Cairns earlier on, the fight that we called. just kind of relaxed, and it doesn't even look like they're trying a lot of the time, does it?
No, that's it. It comes effortlessly. That's the good fighters. It separates the average from the exceptional. Everything just comes naturally, second nature, and yeah, it just flows. Like I say, it's very relaxed. They're confident in their ability, and you don't need, when you're that good and you're that confident, you don't need to rush things, and everything just comes naturally. And that's what it looks like with him.
Well, bout number 6 this for Owen Lavin. He stopped a couple of people on the way to this fight, so he has got some heavy hands there, but he really is one of those fighters who can do a bit of everything. Very relaxed, boxes well, mixes it up nicely, confident in his ability.
Yeah, he looks like he's in there with an opponent. He's not very shy, do you know what I mean? He's there, he looks well schooled, his opponent here. Very relaxed himself. Good head movement as well as opponent. But yeah. Kia Lavin looking very relaxed here, nice. Nice judging distance and range here. Just pulled himself just out of range to make his opponent miss.
Nice little 1-2 tap upstairs and then sunk that left hook into the body from Lavin.
It must be difficult for these fighters as well. Fighting so late, fighting so after with not much around. Obviously, I bet he's been a floater all night, so I've been there myself. Being a floater, you got to stay warm for a very long time. Joey just gets there is a stoppage, so I can imagine they've been in the change room, being ready for a few hours now. So
oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's all good learning for him, and I'm sure as he steps up through levels, he'll be glad that he got this learning fight in.
Yeah, with Lavin, I know that he's just keen to be active. He wants, he wants dates. He just wants to be out there fighting. And I know there's been a couple of times where he's meant to be on and fights falling through or whatever, and he's just frustrated, which is completely understandable. And you'll know more than anyone how he feels from when that's happened to you in the past.
Yeah, mate. Speaking from personal experience, it's very, very hard to get up for fights. Sometimes I've had a couple fights lined up in a row and they cancel. And if you go to the gym every day and you're training and you got a fight penciled in, and then for whatever reason they keep getting cancelled, it's hard to get motivated. So yeah, you got to have a good frame of mind on your head, which I'm sure Lavin has. So yeah, and it's come on after the bell tonight and still boxed up the way he is. You got to be very impressed. I mean, not many fighters can. They be frustrated. They go in there, they lose their shape because they want to get an early light. They want to knock him out. So yeah, he's taking his time. It's very mature performance.
Really nice. He timed that left hook there from Lavin. Just drawing his man in there, taking his time. You can tell Atrahov is extremely experienced as he just boxes out of that southpaw stance there with those long blue socks.
He looks like a very, very tired fighter, mate. Do you know what I mean? Look relaxed.
He does.
He looks relaxed. He looks well skilled, dipping his knees. He's just having a look. So he looks like a very, very well skilled fighter himself. Which would be good for Kia Lavin because he'll give him with his opponent having all that experience. You'll be sure to get rounds. You'd like to think.
Defends well, does Atrahov. Uses that lead hand to just try and stop as much as he can that jab which comes from Lavin so quickly.
Yeah, he's got a good judge of distance of himself, and the hard thing it will be for Lavin is that he's fighting a southpaw here. Do you know what I mean? So when you got an experienced southpaw who's got a very, very good judge of distance, it's hard to pin him down. As you see, he's got his feet in the right place. And look, oh, good, nice head movement there from Lavin. Very, very lovely.
Good work there from Owen Lavin as he just made his man miss in a big way.
Turned it very well on the ropes there, very, very well. I think he just needs to go through the gears a little bit more, Joey. He's having his look there, I think you got to let them hands go. But like you say, you can tell his opponent is very, very experienced here. he looks like he knows his way around the ring, and he's got good variety and head movement of himself, and a southpaw.
Yeah, I don't know if he was an amateur or a good amateur in his day, his opponent, but I'll tell you what, I'd have a bet that he was.
Yeah. He looks like one of them typical Eastern Europeans.
Yeah, that style, isn't it?
Typical Eastern Europeans, most really a very good amateur. He's in where, I don't know if they're his shorts or not, but he's got WBA, so he's obviously might have fought for a title in previous. But you get them opponents, some of them very, very good, start off very well, have a good pro career themselves, and then they go on the road, do you know what I mean? They're Eastern Europeans, so it could well be that, and that's why he could be he looks like a very seasoned pro.
But that was a nicely timed right hand there from Owen Lavin at the end of the round. Just drew his man in, threw it, it landed. His feet went a little bit, but obviously it came pretty much as the bell rang.
Yeah, saved by the bell, mate, wasn't it? Like you say, it was very, very timed shot. Very good timed shot. But I'm sure he'll come out of the round like nothing's happened.
Just looking at the body language of the pair of them in the corners here.
They must be son and dad. They look very, very similar, them two.
They do, don't they?
I think they are. They just got me wet then as well.
Yeah, I tell you what, from ringside have been sweated on, blooded on, everything tonight.
Mate, start of the night, I'm a bit hot now, but start of the night I was freezing. Like I say, we're in a nice rink. We started the night before the body started coming here and heating the place up. It was very, very cold there.
Yeah, for anyone who's maybe just watched this fight or just tuned in, we are in an ice rink, a real old school ice rink in Altrincham. And when we arrived earlier on this evening, or late this afternoon, the first fight at 4:45 in the afternoon, it was absolutely freezing. But lots of balance there from Atrahov.
That was a strange one, wasn't it? Nice, that was lovely. Let's see, being patient there. When he lets his hands go, he looks very, very powerful. Lavin does. And he's sharp with it.
He does. Those shots land with a thud.
You can tell when the Lavin starts going up through opponents, through the levels, he's the type of fighter, he wants a fighter who's going to come onto him and bring the fight to him. Do you know what I mean? He looks well schooled and he looks like a very, very good counter puncher, but it's hard when you got opponents like he's got who don't tend to not throw as much and don't tend to lead. It's hard for you to show what you're really made of. But you can tell he looks like a very seasoned fighter, and he would like an opponent if he was to bring him onto. I think that's when he starts showing his best.
I think that's a great observation, and he's going to be one of those fighters who's in some really, really good fights. Especially, like you say, as the opponents go up a level or even a couple of levels, and as time goes by. Look, he's a young man this is his 6th fight. Still a long, long way to go in this professional journey, but certainly a good start under the guidance and tuition of a Manchester legend in Anthony Crolla.
That's it. I think Lavin should start going through the gears a bit now. Do you know what I mean? He's looked very, very good as so far. But I think give his opponents a bit more trouble. Just start picking up, doing 1 to 2 phases of attack. Just going through them gears, you know what I mean? Because Atrahov looks comfortable at this moment in time. But Willie, when Lavin starts going through the gears like he did there.
Oh, solid left down there from Atrahov. Lavin just soaks that up on his right glove. And we'll look to finish this round strongly.
Oh, took one there, Lavin did, as he was trying to.
Good shot, got through. But you know what? Having spent a little bit of time with Owen Lavin and done commentary like I'm doing with you tonight with him, I'm sure he'll be loving that his opponent's bringing a bit of, a bit of extra and getting him to think about it. He is, without any doubt, the sort of fighter who wants someone who's going to test him and challenge him and make him progress.
Yeah, mate. Fighters don't want to get in there with a fighter who's just going to cover up all night. Do you know what I mean? No one wants to do that. You don't learn nothing. You don't gain nothing from it. You want a fighter who's going to come and try and hit you and try and take your head off, and it makes you look good as well. Like I said, I think Lavin, he will look at his best when an opponent comes to fire back, and so he looks like a very, very good counterpart. When he's the opportunity to do it, he's looked very, very good at doing it. So when he's got a fighter who's in there, he's going to try and put it on him. Do you know what I mean? Try and take him out of his comfort zone. That's when he'll look at his best.
Well, we look forward to following the journey of Owen Lavin as we go into the 4th round here in Altrincham. Nice strong jab there. He's been busy with that jab as Lavin this evening so far in this fight.
Maybe double it up and then bring the backhand off it. Maybe just mix it up instead of 2-minute singles. Throw a bit more. He's triggering very well. Very, very triggering well. But I think he needs to let them hands go just a little bit more. I know he's trying to watch out what's coming back, but sometimes you do have to take one to give one. But he's looked very good so far.
Well, Mark Lyson, the referee, hasn't had to do pretty much anything, has he?
Nah,
it's been such a clean and good fight from that respect, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think, like we said earlier, his opponent looks like a very, very well-schooled professional himself. So when you get two well-schooled fighters, they don't tend to come together very much, and when they do, they untangle themselves, and it makes it easy night for the referee. Like I said, Lavin just went through the gears a bit. Do you know what I mean? He's comfortably winning the fight. Comfortably. Not been in trouble once, but when you, like we said earlier, to put a dent into these kind of tough journeymen, they can deep punches all day long. They're happy to just sit at one pace. You need to go through the gears and start upping the gears and make them feel uncomfortable.
Well, Lavin just trying to get something off of that jab. But yeah, he's biding his time. He's not rushing anything.
It's lovely, lovely. Just drawing him on. But he's coming back, his opponent.
I tell you what, the sweat is bouncing off the pair of them and glimmering in the brightness of the lights.
Try giving one after the bell there, did he? There you go. His opponent is trying to go through the gears now. That's what I was saying that Lavin needed to do. He needs to just come out of shell, yeah. Split, turn him off there, get out of that corner. That's it. Just needs to go for the gear, Lavin now. His opponent's trying, so he needs to try. I think his opponent's just starting to not show him no respect now. Do you know, he's been comfortable with their opponent, so now he's trying to give us a Lavin. So this is where Lavin needs to start going for the gears and start putting it on him now.
Do you think there's anything which his opponent Atrahov is open to from what you've watched in the opening rounds here? Is there anything you think, if that was me in there, I might try a bit of this or I might try a bit of that?
To be honest, mate, I haven't been like, I've been watching the fight.
You've not been in fighter mode?
Nah, I haven't been. I've been watching the fight, just watch, but I haven't been in. I'll do it this round. I'll try and pick some holes to do this round for you.
This is why we've got you here.
That's it, mate. That's it. My professional expertise.
I look forward to it. We're marking your papers.
Nah, but it's been, listen, every round so far, you'd like to say Lavin's won, do you know what I mean? But towards the end of that round, his opponent was looking like he was trying to implement himself and trying to put it on Lavin a bit. So it'll be intriguing to see how his opponent comes out this round, if he's going to try and put it on him again, like he did at the end of that round, or if he's going to stand off him like he did in the previous round. So it's intriguing to see.
Well, 2 rounds to go. Atrahov meets Lavin in the centre of the ring.
That's it.
He's controlled this fight really well, Lavin, with that jab, hasn't he? He's kind of put Atrahov where he's needed him to go the majority of the time with the jab and just kind of steered it.
Yeah, not just his jab, he's had lovely footwork as well. Look, he's always on the tip of his range. He's fidgeting, he's dipping the shoulders. He's keeping Atrahov, keeping him thinking at all times, you know what I mean? And he's been implementing himself from early.
Lavin looking for that body shot. He goes to the body so well.
That's a nice overhand right from Atrahov.
Yeah, they come out of nowhere.
He must have, like we were saying earlier, he looks like a very, very well seasoned fighter. I'm not sure if he was a good amateur. He looks like a little bit older now, but he's definitely done something in the past. You know what I mean? It looks like he's been at high level, very high level operator before. See there, he was fidgeting, he was in range, Owen was, but he didn't let his hands go when he was there, do you know what I mean? It looked like there was a big left hook that could have been landed there, but he's there, like he's in the pocket, he just needs to let them hands go a bit more. Everything other than that, he's been very well. Like he's in the pocket there, but he's not throwing, if you know what I mean. Just needs to let them hands go a little bit more. Look, dig him in there, dig him in.
When he does let his hands go, he looks
dynamite.
Very dangerous, doesn't he?
Mate, he looks dynamite. He's fast. You can hear the punches from here at ringside. Do you know what I mean? He just needs to let them be more confident, let them hands go. Look, the right hand's there all day long. There, look. That's it. Look, powerful, isn't it? When it does land, it's powerful. Just let it go more. Let it go. Lovely, right. Look at that. That's it.
Nice. I tell you what, that was a left hook from Lavin that landed so sweetly.
Very, very clean out. I'm surprised his opponent's still standing. I think you might have felt that one, you know.
He is one tough man, is Atrahov, because that was some left hook, wasn't it? He really threw it with some power.
I think he rocked him there, to be fair, with that left hook. He threw a nice right hand, left hook, right hand, or vice versa. And the last punch that landed, he's trying to have a little walk off after, so he might be playing mind games, or he might have felt that.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit of both.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think you're right. I think he did feel it, but also mind games to try and throw his opponent off to show that he didn't feel it. You know what I mean? But one more round to go, and so far, Owen Lavin is very good.
Well, here we go, sixth and final round, and the final round of boxing in Altrincham this time round. The crowd have been fantastic in here. The fighters have been even better.
Been a very, 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 very well matched show, if I do say so myself. Like we were saying earlier, Zach Miller had a great fight with Leon Woodstock, Mark Chamberlain and Jack Rafferty, a quality fight again. And there've been loads of other good fights on the undercard. We had Jack Turner. He was down on my card, and he pulled out that one-shot wonder. And he, as everyone's saying, and well, his record speaks for himself. He's got dynamite in them hands, and he got a out of jail card tonight. And he looked, yeah, it was a powerful finish.
It was. He's a special one, and one we'll keep a very close eye on, as closely as Owen Lavin is watching the Belarusian Atrahov here in the final round of this bout. Solid right hand to the body. Dug his toes into the canvas there and let it go.
Oh, lovely angle that was. Just to start going for the gears now. He's hurt him there. He hurt him with that body shot. Now this is where he knows. He smelled bloody. Now he needs to get onto him. There's just over a minute and a half of the last round. This is where you can go for it. Do you know what I mean? You make or break. You haven't got to worry about doing the rounds, finishing the fight. It's the last round. That's where you give it your all.
Well, Lavin doesn't waste any time. As soon as Atrahov gets a little bit of confidence, makes his way in, throws a few shots, it is milliseconds and he's firing back himself. Just kind of is a bit of a, well, I ain't going to let you push me around every single time. That's a good trait.
Yeah, it's when it's spirit. Oh, he just took one there. Lavin did. He took a shit one there. But that's when the experience comes in, isn't it? He's happy to take a few bits. Then once he gets a bit too much, he wants to ship one back just to let you know that he's still there. That was a lovely overhand. Oh, ship one back
there.
Yeah, he gave an overhand right, and then she took an overhand right. Like I say, his opponent for such an early fight early on in your career, this is a great opponent to be in with. Gives you rounds, shows you that his experience, his opponent's experience, and he's an all-round good fighter himself. This is a perfect learning fight.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we'd like to see Atrahov back over with some more prospects in the UK and Ireland. And a good performance there from Owen Lavin.
Yeah, very, very all-round good performance. You know what I mean? Done everything well. Didn't smother himself. Didn't get drawn in. Yeah, very good performance. And like you said about his opponent, it'll give many a good prospects a good fight. So for any prospect coming through there, it'll be a good learning fight.
Absolutely, solid opponent, and another one under the belt in the professional career of Owen Lavin. Well, Thomas Triber has the scorecard in hand. Mark Lyson will grab hold of Owen Lavin, and we shall find out what the scores on the doors are.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Mark Lyson, scores the contest 59-55 for your winner and still undefeated, Owen Lavin.
Well, a very well done to Owen Lavin, and a big thank you to everyone who's watched along tonight, and to the team, to Ryan Garner and to Nathaniel Collins. A very good evening to you.